Hello and welcome to News Up Now. I'm Gleidson Martins in San Francisco, and today I'm very happy because we're going to be talking about nutrigenetics. What is that? What does that mean actually? How that can help people? So to answer those questions and other questions I have, I'm joined by the nutritionist in Brazil, Fabio Bicallho. Hello, Fabio. How are you?
How are you? It's very nice to talk with you again. And it's a good evening for everybody. Good evening for us. Good afternoon for you now.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Fabio, the last time we spoke in Portuguese, I was very intrigued with the nutrigenetics. Can you explain what is that?
Nowadays, we have this exam that is very good that we can do in a very simple way. And we analyze, the genetics and the food, what you can eat or not. So with a small sample that we take from inside the mouth and then send to the laboratory, we can analyze more than 120 different polymorphisms. Would you imagine that? So it's unification in between food and genes.
So through the DNA of the person, so you can analyze like what type of food is it good for, as it's good for that person, and what types of food it's not good for that person.
And with this kind of test, we can see the capability of the genetic metabolization of carbohydrates, of lipids, and as well the proteins. So it goes down the theory of that low carb is always good. Maybe you can have a low carb diet and it's not for you. So with the genetic test, we can assist and see what is good and able for the client. So we have a kind of this, like intermediate, high, and low. So we see how can it works for everybody, carbs, proteins, and lipids. So we make a kind of a percentage, exact percentage.
Anybody can do the test. Like, is that recommended to babies as well? Because we're going to go to my next question, which is this test you were telling me before we start taping this interview that this test through the DNA of the person, you can somehow prevent some sort of diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or even some types of cancer. So yes, anybody can do this.
Yes, indeed, it's very important for everybody, even for babies. I do tests in babies. Once you can have as a baby or as a child is better because this test is one test forever. Your DNA is not going to change. Understand, Gleidson? Yeah. So if you do this when you're a child, it's not going to change. So we see the percentage of the micronutrients and the micronutrients that you need, and as well the disease. If we can find this at this exam at the beginning, if you have the probability of having high probability of have kind of Parkinson's or Alzheimer, we can prevent using good foods that will decrease at least at 80%. Would you imagine that? That's amazing.
That'd be wonderful. I mean,
that's wonderful.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So would you imagine if a child, even if a baby, if you have a high probability of having Alzheimer at the elderly age, we can prevent this and avoid the disease, and as well as cancer, as well as the disease from the heart, as well as of diabetes. So it's very good. So any time of your old, you can do it.
So this study has been.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So they started studying this type of treatment under the nutrition about 5 years ago. So you've been working with this about 3 years ago. So how are the results? Because I assume a lot of people go to a nutritionist to balance the diet and to get a better physics, like, better shape.
Yes. We are working there for more than 4 or 5 years. 3 years, we have more than 120 polymorphisms, so it's more easy to do a diet. So when you do a diet, just having, the biochemical blood test is different from the DNA. So we can prevent illness, we can restart the metabolism using the right micronutrient. So if it's low carb, if it's not low carb, if it's more proteins, it's for more lipids. So we can arrange the diet exactly what you need. So the results are very good. I can tell you, I have the results inside my clinic, and I have the results with the literature. So it's a very good way of using, the techniques of the nutrigenetic.
Is it expensive?
It's not expensive if you think, Gleidson, that's one test for your life, for your whole life, So I don't like to tell about numbers, but let's tell some numbers. It's just one test in your whole life. It's around $800 and $1,000 for your whole life. You don't need to do it again because your DNA is not going to change. So it's perfect, The results are very, very nice, especially preventing and regulating your metabolism, losing weight and losing fat and increasing muscles. Would you imagine that? Everybody
That'd
wants
be great. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Just to
great.
remove the fat. That'd be great.
No, you're looking great, please.
So thank you. So I know you have a clinic in Rio, de Janeiro, Brasilia, and also you go to Sao Paulo, right? So
That's it.
what about United States? Do you ever come to the US to?
Yeah, I come to the US. I come to the US doing a kind of research, and as well, how would say that in English? Palestras. I forget the name. Palestra.
What is it?
In Portuguese,
conferences.
Europe and the United States and South America. But I have clients that are in Miami and California, and as well in New York, that I can hear using now WhatsApp, video WhatsApp, and Zoom as well. So if the people want to talk with me, we can make a kind of appointment, and we can collect. We have representatives in the United States to collect this eczema, and we can have a good the development of a good diet.
So Fabio, tell me something. Like, if this is a revolutionary treatment for to prevent some types of diseases,
Yes.
why we are not see that out there, like people talking more about this?
Let me tell you, we are talking about that for the last 5 years, 3 years more, but now is the time. It was the future. I thought when I was studying, like 5 years ago, that was going on in 20 years. But the technology, it goes very fast. We have a kind of genetic studies in Italy, in all Europe, that now we have the literature to say that is very good. And we have the results inside the clinic and all over the world. So now the people is going to talk about this each day more. And I think if even the governments are going to talk about that, because it's better to prevent an illness than to treat illness.
Well, Fabio, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate to talk with you.
Oh, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. If you have any questions, please let us know at tips@newsupnow.org. tips@newsupnow.org. So thank you. Have a good night.